They have to stick through this. Ankara to decide it all, and we are already into the action here. Not wasting any time. It will be NAVI once again, pushing forward. STS, the Stallions themselves, looking to just try to maintain control of the map here in this opening half.
NAVI setting up for a big A hit. It's going to be the weak side, but those two players holding tight angles. Pressure coming.
Just going to put the face into this one. It's going to be NAVI who narrowly managed to persevere. JV almost getting traded out as well, but in the end, a trade up here into their favor. C4 gets brought forward. All remaining players close, ready to try to take. That's going to be Akash taken down off the rip. KLB doing well to find that elimination. The C4 is still not yet on the ground, and now he just fishes for another, and he's going to be rewarded. Suddenly advantage over here towards Stallions. 1-1 trying to watch the flank. Loy creeping forward, as well as KLP on that deeper line. So he's got to stay tucked forward here into the side itself.
Giving him so much time. Oh.
I mean, they're both just getting absolutely destroyed. Absolutely wrecked. And there's the final spot. And there it is, the round-winning play. Loy coming up with them both. Get Stallions the opening round win here on Ankara.
And it's these quick reactions from the Stallions that prevent the C4 from being planted and give themselves the time to set up for these flanks. So good with the mid-round calling. Love to see it from the Stallions. NAVI, though, squandering an opportunity there at the weak side, but could not capitalize. They're going to have to play safe. They're going to have to play defensive. Got some smokes towards mid and towards A, but not really doing much on the map right now. Just looking for somebody to get aggressive from the Stallions. Might have guessed right with that frag. Just came up short. They're just sitting, waiting, getting towards those vents. That's dangerous. I'm going to just try to swing through the main door.
Angle stacked up for now, but yeah, quick little poke and prod. Nothing going to be spotted there, and that does leave these two players inside, potentially at risk, but no, able to go ahead and identify it now. Back on the corner. It's GDSC taking it so very low. However, ADRF, he's slipped the net. He's made his way all the way into this connector position. Now striking, is able to find a kill here on the KLP. Still two players here on the site. He finds the first, cannot find that second, but still, it's heroics. Sneaky beaky play to be able to bring this back into parity, but as I say that, no, doesn't manage to find one. Look at the second, the spot out there on the Juan, contained back within the vents, a double face, as he's alone. C4 in hand with 4 HP, and there's just no hope. They hound him down, they win the round, and that's a 2-0 start here for Stallions.
Again, it's the quickness to react, and Loy being so fast to find that flank angle. Gets there right in time as Navi's trying to figure out a way to get onto that site. They just can't quite do it. Stallions coming out hot, 2-0. Ooh, that grenade. Didn't dissuade NAVI at all. They get that first kill. Akash good for it. KLB down. Just going to tuck a player in right underneath here, and they're already leaning in towards B. But NAVI wisely, I think, taking some time to pause to think about this. Do they change directions?
Or GDSC going to be good for 2 quick kills here. Looking for that third, can't find it. No, does manage to strike him down for this flank, but it is just going to be the players here from NAVI holding their angles, hitting their shots to get themselves online here on Ankara.
Sometimes all you need to do is just wait a bit. Good things will come to you. That's exactly what happens here for NAVI. Expecting that eventually the Stallions are going to try to push space somewhere. They're rewarded. This time, straight up the gut. Trying to get through mid. You have to be so fast sometimes to take space, because otherwise the Stallions feels like are just going to claim it for themselves. JV up close and personal. Oh, and he bests Loy with the pistol.
Yeah, but will quickly be traded out. KLB there, but now under an immense amount of pressure. KLP, quick scope shot, does manage to go ahead and peel back another kill. So 3v3 is 1-1. Quick little tag, but no, does survive. Frag grenade up and over the top, just fishing for some additional damage, but more kills to be found here for the moment. But Juan maintains control over the flanks here, over the extremities. That puts NAVI right back into the driver's seat.
Kosh underneath. JDSZ just looking for the info, trying to set up for the swing, and it's going to collect. That's going to be it. NAVI ties it up 2-2. Well handled there. Starting to get a read on the pace that Stallions wants to bring. Starting to find their moments to take their pauses and wait for the Stallions to overcommit. Man, 1-1. That is incredible. Kosh up and over. So NAVI now, with these fast hits, able to find value because of the way that they're claiming some states and having the Stallions to try to recover a bit to a little bit of a slower pace, seemingly. Maybe just going to cut through back towards mid. If the Pipes players see this, it just depends on how far the Stallions look out. Oh, KLP can't find it.
Maybe a second chance. As this push is ready to continue. 3 players here in the vicinity. ELB getting back around, maybe to try to get on a flank angle. 3v. No, right here in front of him, and he's going to be able to overwhelm him. KLP at the same time able to find Akash. Placement in towards the back, looking pretty good. Gets a good amount of damage there, but KLB still now that flank in with the fine players. GDSC does get taken down. Pixel angle, KLP good for it. ADRF now dead on the floor. 1-1 doing his damnedest to try to open things back up here for the team. Peak shut down. JJ Hay able to find one. Now it's all on 1-1 once again. The alliteration is killing me. Got 53 seconds remaining, but no C4 in hand.
He's done it before. Certainly wouldn't be unexpected if he's able to pull out another miracle here for NAVI. Let's see Stallions getting a little bit antsy. No idea where he went.
ALB just up over the top here. Crouched into the corner, unscouted. Should be good for a trade, even if JJ cannot win this out here, which he will. Lead reestablished, 3-2. Stallions not looking to give NAVI a window back into this one.
It's just all about timings for both of these squads. Watching for these lurking players. Winning that battle against GDSZ opens up that extra man advantage for the Stallions. Helps them claim that round. Little things like that, little counter maneuvers that you make. Oh, they're going up mid and they're getting there.
Well, they certainly are, but Noah's getting the kill. IGL down here for NAVI. 1-1 spotted. Grenade out. JJ Hayes is going to be, and maybe try to play back a little bit further here, but Akash is able to find one, so no, traded back into a 4v4, but damage dealt here to the NAVI players.
Ooh, they're responding with some good util though. Keep the pressure on, keep NAVI back. Big question is, what can Akash do here on this flank angle? He's found quite a bit of space into the hotel, and there isn't anybody around. Hasn't seen or heard a thing. So that's going to call the rotations over for NAVI. JV there. Dead already, but troops making some good reads. It's just how quick are the Stallions going to figure this out? How long are NAVI going to wait? That's the big question. Nobody's even really watching B, except from near that balcony over by the GR spawn. JJA, you can get through this, get that one and done, give them that man advantage. That'd be huge. Late lurk from 1-1.
He's out in the open. not sure which way to look. It's upon on the wayside now, a 3v4. Looking for the retake. NAVI should be favored. Still, though, deep angle from 1-1. Not really nearby the rest of the team. May need to join in, but never mind. Seems like they're just going to be holding their own quite nicely. As ADRF, an opportunity to go for a knife kill, which we have not had, but opposite just go ahead and put him down nice and easy with that pistol.
I was hoping for it. Not going to lie, I was hoping that we might get it, but yeah, no, it's okay. So, NAVI again comes right back with a little counterpunch of their own. Just outweighting the Stallions a bit, getting them to overcommit to the A site. Going for the hard reads, our Stallions. Relying on that nature for their defensive side. At least in that round. They love this pipes. They love to just take control of this space early. Force NAVI to try to make moves off the back of that. Allows them to lean their strong side back over to B. Just have to watch that A main door now that the smoke's dropped, so no. Has to be the one to check some of that. Him and JJ Hay. Just waiting this out a bit. NAVI not revealing their presence anywhere on the map. I don't know why KLB just flashed himself, but he did. Maybe just trying to make a pop flash play around the corner, but just caught that off screen.
Ooh, I think maybe a gun barrel spotted out there. A warning shot sent. DSC able to back away to safety. Like a mid-push now, though, here from NAVI. A minute and 15 remaining in the clock. Starting to pivot their way across into this B site that has been weakened by Stallions. They've rotated some players off as KLB to reinforce that A site, but quick turn back, and Loy able to get the jump there. Koch going to be taken down, but ADRF on the entry. On the danger man there of Stallions. 4v4, the C4 being brought forward. The plant now about to come through.
Another really nice entry for ADRF. He's had a couple big ones.
Swoop in. Shannon's going wide. It's going to be an immense amount of damage taken there by 1-1 and ADRF. Down to 3 HP. 1-1 still going to be good for one before getting taken down. JV able to find a kill as well off screen. But Loy brings it back now into a lead where it's just JV alone here on the site, needing to try to clutch this one out. But as he swings, Loy will strike. That'll be the defuse to come through and the lead to be regained.
Man, that's a toughie for NAVI. I really like the way that ADRF is just kicking indoors. But the problem is you're not winning some of those battles on the extremities, some of your 1v1s, or at least you're taking a bunch of damage if you do. Giving it easy trades over no with a big round for the Stallions. Let's see what the plan is this go around. Extra player over on the A site early for the Stallions. Deep smokes, kind of the same setup we've been seeing for NAVI early. Smoke off that B connector, smoke off A main. Oh, there's going to be players in pipes. That's a given, it seems like, with the Stallions. They're going to try to challenge this again. ADRF is just good for it.
Clutches him out. KLP is completely blinded here on that site. And it looks like NAVI ready to just go ahead and pull that trigger nice and quickly. Works a treat. Immediate free player advantage here for them. They'll be just frantically fishing for any kind of damage they could possibly find through these smokes, but has no vision whatsoever as they both play from these angles. Tagged up. Looks like they're going to try to maybe just go on a wrap, but I just don't think they're going to have the time for this one.
No. Round is done.
Yep, concession on this one. Perhaps just a KD save on the rotate out there. Not hurt the statistics any more than they're already going to be. C4 to detonate. 4-4. The scoreline here as we get tied up. Nothing more to be done.
But again, it's ADRF. He's so ready for these positions that the Stallions are going to be in. So some great prep being shown and also some great execution. Just comes around that corner and pipes with the AK. Gets the instant headshot. Gives NAVI another round to tie us back up 4-4. Once again, neck and neck between these two early. ALB try to get aggressive, but out in the open. Oh my God, what is going on?
Loy's able to find two. The trade backs are going to be huge. Noah's the last one standing. All of a sudden, he's on a flank. He's wrapped all the way around towards the spawn. ADRF. Maybe 10, 15 HP remaining on him. Oh. He's going to be able to find the shot. What an incredible one. To make it 5-4 with Navi favored here at the half. It looked like he should have been down and out. Goes for the fight instead of going for the plant. And he gets it done.
Oh, that is disgusting. And he's stepping up big time for Navi there on that BL side. Switching over though. Gonna get those snipers going for Navi on one. He's had a bit of a rough go of it, 3 and 5. That's okay, because ADRF has been doing the heavy lifting. Now you got your opportunity. Maybe take this away. Get yourself into the playoffs. Stallions, see if they have something to say about it. ALP, a little bit of damage.
That's a teammate.
That is your teammate, my friend.
But I think you can just see how much the nerves are getting racked right now.
Just shooting anything that moves. What could go wrong?
There's no friendly fire. That was a very embarrassing start to this round.
Just trying to prod their way through mid. Setting up for what looks like a B hit, at least for now. Considering it. Haven't seen a damn thing. So, deep smokes. Actually just all going to go underneath.
Could be unexpected on one. Watching the angle, opening shot. Not finding the value there. Counter swing around the corner. Kosh is able to go ahead and quickly deal with 3. That's going to be a 4K for him. Absolute meat grinder that they get thrown into. It looks like Navi might be eating well tonight.
They're just so quick to react, our Navi there. Talked about how important the snipers would be. It's actually Akash who's got one. Him and Wanwan doing good stuff there. Smother Stallions out of that round. Like maybe Stallions could at least play for trades there, but didn't even get the opportunity.
No.
It's crazy.
Flashbang setup was a little bit too brutal for him, and
yeah.
That certainly got the Navi fans in the arena riled up a little bit more. On the exchange here outside of A. Looks like Stallions are going to be drifting back across towards this side of the map. So too is JV. Forcing this position here for now.
GDSC just playing anti-flash the whole way.
He's ready and waiting though. Potentially counter swing on this this exit rather out of the vent.
Trying to get JJ Hay towards mid a little bit, but didn't see anything.
Keeping the smoke on main. Cycled through. And 18 now remaining here.
This holds, just comes down to execution.
As well as the patience. As long as Navi don't rotate out, should be in a good spot to try to counteract this one. But ADRF, he does get a little bit antsy. Manages to take one down with him, but counter trade looking incredibly good here for the side of Stallions. They come away with 3 kills on this exec. 1-1 and Akash now. Last ones to try to counteract this as the C4 does quickly get planted. 1-1. First player up close, just fishing for anything that he can get through these smokes, but I don't think he's going to be able to find too much of anything. In fact, it's just going to be shot to the side of the skull there. He'll get picked off. As that's going to be the Stallions now looking to try to rally back into this.
Just a clean entry, more or less. I mean, ADRF got one, but quickly traded, and then they just stormed through. Just start hitting their shots to the Stallions. That's when they're at their best, seemingly. When they're just playing off of each other. It's going to be a timeout here. Massive. Oh, we're getting a little ADRF highlight reel. I like that.
this play right here might just end up being play of the day if NAVI are able to push their way forward into that playoffs. Stallions are just trying to make them sweat for it, though. Keep it as tight-knit as they can. So attack pause now. Called out.
Stallions actually going to be the ones who want to talk about this. Rally the troops here a little bit. See if they can figure out ways to keep cracking through NAVI, but some of these rounds, you know, they're walking into dangerous situations where they're walking into the heavy side, the strong side of NAVI. They win it this time, but that's not a recipe for success. So far, hard to say exactly what the rest of it's going to look like for NAVI. We're not too deep here into the switch of sides. Already their coach wants to get involved, wants to see if he can get them on the same page a little bit more in terms of where they can exploit some of the weaknesses that he's feeling. To the B side, maybe Hotel going to be the answer. NAVI is full committed towards A early, looking to see if they could challenge that A lobby. Wow.
Well, DRF gets himself on a bit of an island, but he's still able to go ahead and drag one more player down with him. 2 for 1 off the rip. A solid enough start here, but we've seen how quickly the tides can change on these rounds between these teams. Just giving up that space outside of A main for now. He'll be allowed to slot forward his way in through this connector.
There's no doubt that ADRF is player of this map so far. He has been just frying at AK. So powerful. Getting those headshots. Try to make a go of it towards mid again. Being somewhat left open. 1-1.
Swing in, and yep, 1-1 able to find the first. Damage not suffered here. Just trying to really shut the door on these players as Akash is there to bail them out. Gets rid of KLB, and that's just going to be the overwhelm coming through. That early double really setting the stage for the remainder of that round. The Stallions, even with the timeout call, not able to find a follow-up, not able to get that back-to-back.
All right. NAVI just so happy to absorb that pressure.
Look at this. 4 players ready to maybe just do battle here. Outside is ADRF. Yeah, he's looking to try to replicate that success this time. Only going to be good for the one before getting taken down. Nade's going to be lobbed out there. KLB tucked in behind the pillar, but they are just absolutely smothering them out of this round and potentially out of this map and this tournament.
Ooh.
No will find the first.
Ooh.
He gets himself a second, and suddenly NAVI have to pump the brakes. C4 recovered. No, at 68 health. This is both players, NAVI, offering up this space here on the A site. He finds that he's got it for free. Get himself into a post plant. He's still got a full kit available, but instead it looks like, okay, not going to go on the full hunt here. Just a quick peek over towards the opponent's spawn. Just to clear every single angle. While this transpires, it's getting closer and closer to NAVI being able to suss out the correct read. Still just going forward. Gosh, he's aware of this at all. No, he is not. No finds that kill. GDSC trying to slot his way in. Pre-fire over towards the window. Seems like he's got the spot. 50 seconds remaining. That was going to actually go on a flank. He's going to play this clock down, and he's going to look to just try to go ahead and win this on frags.
It's the most Stallions thing ever. You just expect him.
It looks brilliant. If he doesn't, it's going to look a bit foolish. GDSC is just pulling further and further back here into the corner. But for the moment, doesn't have any eyes on this position of No. Just continuing to now go on the approach here. Out at main. Shots now flying. A swap over onto the pistol. No. Looking to try to finish the job that he just started and clutch out this round. A bit of ring around the rosy, but No. Gets it done. What a monstrous clutch. to get Stallions right back into this map.
This is madness. This is absolute madness from No. You would expect him to just plant the C4, play for the 1v2. He just goes hunting, and he's able to isolate both players. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
It's 4 kills for him to just go ahead and leapfrog over the top of everybody else here on his team.
That is otherworldly stuff. I mean, that is a difference maker, potentially. One of those rounds you could be looking at. It's where the tide turned for the Stallions if they're able to get this done, but still quite a few rounds to go here. Everybody being a little bit cautious on both sides. Do have Akash pushed up a bit, but everybody else holding the line. You can see after that early push out, you know, NAVI wanted to do that a couple rounds in a row to see if they could catch Stallions off guard, and it worked. They made an aggressive move out of A, but somehow, some way, Stallions players just find ways to persevere.
Certain overrated bands that don't look back in anger, but I think if you lose this one, NAVI are going to be doing just that.
What band is this?
Oasis.
Oh, God. Well, yeah, we're in agreement on that.
Still get the hype, you know?
No.
Push forward. Nade dump coming through, and he's just completely blinded up. ADRF served up on a silver platter. Tuck in, able to find one there. Is GDSZ. Player advantage now to Stallions as he look to tie this up 7-7. Barring some similar clutches, but no, Nakash won't be given that chance to try to get it started. And 1-1, it's flushed out of the smoke. We are tied up, both teams 3 rounds away from being able to close this series, or 2 apiece to send us into another overtime.
Now we're seeing some good adjustments made by the Stallions. The flash there, perfect. The deal with the players outside of the vents. Exactly what the doctor ordered. Set up that execute. Very well thought out by the Stallions. That is exactly what you want to see. Some good util. You're going to brute force your way through. Your executes need to be good. That one was. Back to parity here. Both teams mostly being a little cautious. They want to send JV out a little bit early here. Scouting for a little bit of info for NAVI. See if maybe a rush was going to come through for the Stallions towards B or something like that, but he immediately falls back. No early contact, so in towards the safety of his half of the map. Just doing a little bit of clearing of space here are the Stallions, trying to make some attention over at A.
Quick spot, but it goes both ways, so it'll just be a pullback. Gosh, having to give up that space, that line. Smokes out. NAVI just continuing to try to maintain that A main control, but it's going to be Stallions with their eyes set now on this B site. Once again, the approach here through that mid connector. Short approach, Akash. Let's see how much he can get back here. Swing that corner, and oh, what a quick shot from him. Rolls out to the pistol. Damage avoided thus far. Let's try get the flush out there onto Loy. Unable to do so. Does get taken down, but Hwan continues to hold the site here for the team. His nades go flying, and eventually he's going to be overwhelmed. Loy with the second kill. Keeps him in with a 3v3. The C4 getting ready to go down.
Oh. That's huge. The JV gets that kill on the No. That's the flank angle dealt with already.
Yeah, that's only a bit of damage there, and they don't even have a frag to try to really fish for that one. Put a pre-fire on the smoke. Now dissipating. Spot out, tugging here at the back. Can't find that second kill. JJ Hay now with everything to do. The swing getting ready to come through, and he manages to find them both. What an incredible hold. Shuts down the retake, and Stallions gain the lead.
You just never know which way these rounds are going to swing. Whenever it feels like one team has an advantage, somebody comes up huge. It's JJ Hay this time. Saw No do it earlier. he still was doing a good job, but looking back at some of the previous rounds, it's a decent hold from Akash and Wanwan, but they just can't buy enough time. They're throwing their flashes, they're trying to keep themselves alive as long as they can, but then the swing, the double swing, and it gets shut down. The spray is good. And all of a sudden, the Stallions are back.
They're looking to try to bring this to as much parity between the regions as they possibly can. Final tactical pause here from the side of NAVI to try to get their thoughts gathered. Figure out what is going wrong. We very well could be looking at a playoffs that has a representative from the Philippines, one from Brazil, one from Egypt, and the rest there from the side of China.
I think this is a mental thing at this point for NAVI. I think their macro's fine. They're making decent reads at times. Just need to maybe change up a little bit where you're positioning. But again, I think Akash and Wanwan played that pretty well. It's just you're getting outdone in some of these clutch moments where the Stallions players are digging deep. You're not able to find that, so it's more, to me, just words of encouragement, words of wisdom here for NAVI to get them back into this. 8-7. Boy, just waiting. Again, have to be cautious about that early NAVI A-lobby crunch play. Waiting it out, looking to see if there was anything in that timeout that was called that maybe was going to be a little bit aggressive. But more of the same, more or less. NAVI going back to kind of their stock standard. One player just pushed up a little bit outside of B, hold one player on B and 3 on A. Depends on what exactly the Stallions do off the back of that. They're just biding their time. Already, though, chunking down the clock a bit, down to 1:15. That's when you got to start thinking about making your move, clearing some space. 0 resistance here so far. Maybe up onto the bridge. KLP just looking. See if there's a sniper there. Watching this angle. Just holding a little bit deeper. Always looking for it.
Shot the ring out, but still not to be found. 45 seconds now remaining. Stallions grouped up, gathered here. Ready to try to attack onto this B site once again. Flash there onto Akash, forces him back. KLB able to find Wanwan to start things off. The headshot coming through. Akash taking around there at backside. Quick shot. Is able to find himself a second. Loy arriving now, swinging in from behind. Cannot win it. Akash manages to come away with a third kill, bailing them out. As NAVI rally back. Not sure what the call was in the timeout, but whatever it was, it ends up working.
Giving up just a little bit more space this time. Loy trying to use that smoke. Once they had identified that Akash was underneath the balcony in the spawn, they set up a smoke there to try to get Loy's lurk to go, and it just came a hair too late because Akash went absolutely nuclear with the TRG. Filthy step-ups. The individual performances starting to shine, starting to carry teams through these rounds. Once again, 8-8. Would be 2 in a row to avoid overtime for either team. Otherwise, we'll find ourselves right back where we were on the first map.
Seems like it's faded.
It does.
Just given what's on the line, given these teams, given how they played against each other in the opener of their group. Once again, though, far back positions here from the side of Stallions. Really trying to assess this map as much as they can. Now fully clustered up, but they're going into the stack here of NAVI. 3 players set up. Nade, decent value going to be found.
I go for a mid push. Oh, looking for the angle for the lineup. Throw the smokes. This is all fake.
Get the drum of that interest, and so far it has baited out at least 2 rotations away from the side itself. GDSC for the moment holding here, but as that flash does come through, ADRF gonna try to turn back, but already his teammate taking it down, and he cannot find anything else other than a bit of damage there onto the side of KLB. Frag grenade in, Akash from downtown able to go ahead and heal one back here. Get a relative surround onto the site. Really puts a lot of pressure on JV to try to open things back up here for this retake. Takes that first contact, takes a bit of damage. Caution 1-1 going this approach here from main. Loy now dead off screen. JV finding that. 1-1 finding the other. Looking to go ahead and clean them all up. Goes for the tuck, but it's going to be no. Maybe looking to be the hero once more.
Gotta play time.
Similar health bars here on these players, but like you say, the time is starting to get away. He doesn't believe it. He's going to swing, and he nails it. Another monstrous clutch from No, but Stallions now up to match point.
Oh, it's so painful for Navi here. But just another great execute for the Stallions. And a great sell of the fake that buys that extra player to leave the A site to open things up. But No, stepping up. And letting them know that he's here. He wants to go to the playoffs. That is incredible. Loy as well is just having a stellar map. 18 kills for him. Gotta give him a shout out. Him and No really just clobbering.
As well as a step up from KLB. Remember back to the first map. I mean, 0-6 at a certain point there. Took a while to really get the gears turning, but no, they are. It is a well-oiled machine.
Catching a little bit of damage with that first frag, but that doesn't mean anything just yet for the Stallions. Bait and responses. So far, Navi has never really given them over. All we can see is that Akash out there far outside a hotel. It could be one of those things in this round where if he's ever able to have another big multi-kill, be the difference maker, could be the thing that sends us into overtime. This looks could be hit eventually.
Gosh, though, about to be at risk, and he is. KLB finds a headshot, and that's the first step towards closing this out here for Stallions. 1-1, looking to try to be the difference maker. Gets that flick off. Does manage to pull back around the corner for a little bit longer, but KLP eventually hounds him down. Nades now flying. A 3v4 for the retake here. As the C4 gets ready to be planted, Navi needing to win this out to take it into overtime. ADRF still alive, has been the clutch member here for the squad. Split away from the 2 remainders. There's No. Let's bring this to a close. Finds the first. JJ Hay able to join in for the second, and now it all comes down to ADRF. The frag grenade will be able to find one. He's got 3 more targets to try to flush out into the open. They're all fanned out away from each other. A bit of damage there on the KLP. Up and over the top. He tries to go. The drop down. Looks forward, but he shall fall. OT not to be found. It's 10-8 as the Stallions close it out. They wave goodbye to their opponents across the stage. They have successfully navigated their way into the playoffs here at EWC, and they send Navi home.
Oh, man. An absolutely intense match. 2 teams giving it their all here today, but the Stallions had just a little bit extra in the tank. Some of those big step-ups here on Ankara are going to live in the memories of Crossfire fans for years. No, in particular, had some tremendous clutches. Oh me, oh my.